Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbong. There's a lot of digital ink being spilled about how the internet is breaking our brains, that unfettered access to just about any information you might want maybe isn't actually all that healthy for us. But is the opposite any better? Kate Riley is a writer who spent about a year living in a cloistered Christian commune, one where access to information was limited, which is tough for a naturally inquisitive person. Riley's debut novel, Ruth, is about a girl born into such a community. And Riley spoke with NPR's Ayesha Rascoe about how either end of the information access spectrum doesn't really fix what makes it so painful to be human. That's coming up.
This message comes from Charles Schwab. When it comes to managing your wealth, Schwab gives you more choices, like full-service wealth management and advice when you need it. You can also invest on your own and trade on Thinkorswim. Visit schwab.com to learn more.
This message comes from REI Co-op. A summit view, climbing El Cap, a faster mile, or that first 5K. It all starts here, with gear, clothing, classes, and advice to get you there. So you can wave to your limits as you pass them by. Visit REI.com or your local REI Co-op. Opt outside.
Ruth doesn't fit in. And the entire point of her insular religious community is to fit in. Ruth tells jokes. Ruth has ideas. She reads everything she can get her hands on, but those choices are pretty limited.
It took Ruth trial and mortifying error to learn what of the Bible was now accurate only in metaphor. Ethiopians, Jews, and Greeks still existed. Pharisees, Samaritans, and barbarians did not. Magi still existed as Persians. Leprosy still existed. Pharaohs did not. At Saracens, Moors, and eunuchs, Ruth wondered. Not to mention all that the Bible didn't. China, India, America, outer space. The library's encyclopedias, clear and sedative beside the Bible's cryptic thrills, still misled. Ruth lived for decades in an alternate reality containing Zanzibar and dipsomania.
Ruth is the main character and the title of a new novel by Kate Riley, who joins us now. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about this community that Ruth is born into. What do they believe?
So the community is in the Peace Church tradition, which would be the Amish, the Friends. It's a group that came from Europe. They were persecuted by the Catholics because they didn't believe in infant baptism. They thought that everybody who wanted to be a Christian should make that decision as an adult. That was a hot take.
Back in the day. Back in the day. Yeah, it's a big deal, yeah.
So they don't have any private property. They share everything in common. They don't have any official hierarchy. Like, you come to decision through consensus and prayer. It's sort of like being in summer camp your whole life. Like when you get to share all your appliances, or have to share all your appliances with your closest neighbors. You don't have quite as much to worry about, except you got a lot more like community negotiation to do to make sure people are getting what they want when they want it.
What is it like for Ruth in particular? Because, as we said, she is very curious. She is kind of questioning. She has a lot of thoughts. She's trying to figure things out.
It is, in a lot of ways, based on my experience in a community like that. And I'm a very inquisitive person, like often to my detriment, but like just wanting to know how things work, wanting to know what's going on outside and inside, and not knowing whether that curiosity is itself kind of a bad thing. Like, should I just be content with the information I'm given? Because a lot of people seem really good with that. Like that seems to satisfy a lot of people. And what's wrong with me that I want to know everything about everything? Mm-hmm. That was something that I felt constantly, and I didn't grow up in a community like that. I had the information of, growing up in New York City and like having access to all sorts of internet, but I wanted to like explore what it would be like if you didn't come from a place of total access, but had that same drive to like see the world and know what people were thinking and know what the rules were in other places or why the rules were the rules. Like, all that stuff is so interesting to me.
I hate to do this to an author because it's not that Ruth is you, but is Ruth kind of your exploration of some of your own thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's real weird to know that basically a slice of my brain is now being sold as fiction. Yeah, a lot of her interior life is based on my own worries about being bad, or worries about why do I feel different, or why is something that seems so easy for other people really tough for me. But I think I definitely was not the only person struggling with any of those questions there.
What happened there? Or how did you end up in joining the community, and how long did you stay, and all of that?
It was the kind of thing where I was preoccupied with being a good person, and I studied philosophy in college, and I did not find any answers or any that seemed to track in real life. And when I met the kids from this community, to see people who seemed so sincerely kind and thoughtful and hardworking in a way that I couldn't twist into, well, they were just naive or they were just deluded. They were smart and engaged, and it was the first time I'd seen a group of young people specifically who seemed to be able to both talk and act on moral beliefs, but they just happen to exist in this weird cloistered place that the only way to learn about it is to go there and do it. I can't get this information remotely. I have to go and try it for myself.
So you tried it. How long were you there?
All told, about a year of living in that community, and then time beforehand sort of visiting or trying for shorter times. And it was some of the happiest time of my life.
Why did you choose to write this novel as a series of glimpses into Ruth's life over the years, these vignettes?
Well, one, it's a real easy way for me to write. I can't hold big thoughts in my brain. So it's nice to just have to focus on a moment or a memory. There are 2 books by a writer named Evan S. Cannell that are Mrs. Bridge and Mr. Bridge, and they are biographies basically of his parents, but they're told in the same way. And the first time I read them in high school, I was he figured it out. This is the best way to tell anybody's story, because that's all my experience of being a human. You're not having these sort of sweeping thoughts about your own narrative. You're just moving through the day. You're having a weird interaction on the subway, and then sort of getting lost in thought looking out the window. And so telling a story in just those actual moments gives you a much better sense of what this person is like day to day. I like specifics. I like lists of nouns. I like particular moments and feelings and phrases. And that was why I chose to do it that way.
This community in the book, I think some people reading it, and I was reading it too, is someone going to come out? Is there going to be an abuse scandal?
Yeah,
is it going to be some, violence or abuse? That's not there. It's very gentle, mundane. But it does seem like with Ruth in that community, it's not that she is harmed, but Ruth doesn't seem all that happy. Does that matter, the personal happiness of Ruth?
I think aside from the time when I lived in that community, I have basically been told, do what makes you happy. That is the resounding message that I've grown up with, is your happiness is of prime importance, and whatever you need to do to find it is the right thing to do. And I've still been kind of grumpy, a lot of grumpy as euphemism. I've been very unhappy at times in my life. And when I was living there, something that I heard from lifetime members, something that I saw, and something I absolutely believe is no particular lifestyle is ever going to spare you the basic difficulty of being a human being. Nothing that.
Of existing, because it is hard to exist.
As long as you love things in the world, you are going to be hurt in the world. And no marriage is easy. No relationship with your children is 100% good, no matter where you are. And there are definitely systems that I think make it more humane or more fair. But I think a lot of the things that character and I struggle with are things that would be struggles as long as you are conscious. That's about having a brain rather than where that brain happens to be.
On the book jacket under your author photo, it says this is your last book. Why?
I gotta set the bar real low, Ayesha. It is so nerve-wracking to me that anyone would expect more. So if I manage to achieve anything after this, it will be a nice surprise.
That's a way to look at it. Kate Riley, author of Ruth, her first, but maybe not her last book. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ayesha.
This message comes from First Leaf. As summer evenings give way to the cool calm of fall, mark the season with wines made just for you. First Leaf makes it simple. Just take their quiz and personalized selections are delivered to your door. No wine aisle guessing, no errands, only wines you'll truly love. Savor autumn's arrival at tryfirstleaf.com/autumn with promo autumn. Your first 6 bottles are just $44.95. That's tryfirstleaf.com/autumn. Support for NPR and the following message come from IXL Learning. IXL Learning uses advanced algorithms to give the right help to each kid no matter the age or personality. Get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when you sign up today at IXL.com/NPR. This message comes from NPR sponsor HP. Break language barriers by translating languages in real time with the HP AI PC. With the right tools, work doesn't have to feel like work. More at hp.com/AI PC.